What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and right now I'm going to give you a lesson on string bending techniques, and tips on how to get better at them and what to practice to get better at them. So hopefully you guys can get something from that. I hope it's helpful. Also, real quick, I do have a bunch of great free resources at my website, martymusic.com. I'm going to leave a link for an essential licks course that I have that I think will be really helpful for building your soloing vocabulary. There's a bunch of licks in there that use bending and all that. It's all tablatured out, transcribed and tabbed. You can get it for free in the link down in the description. Appreciate that support. Let's get to bending. All right, so I got some tips here for bending. Now, one thing about bends is that you have to bend the note and use your ear specifically and muscle memory to bend to the pitch, right? So whether your guitar's in tune or not in tune, ultimately you're using your ear to bend it to a proper note. And so that's just something to point out that that we want to be able to work on. And I'm going to do the key of G. I'll do G minor pentatonic, bending the 5th fret G string. So I'm bending into a pitch that's in tune there. Now, when you first start, you could bend too far, you can bend not enough. But actually in the minor pentatonic, so I'm thinking of this as the G minor pentatonic. So that 5th fret G string, one thing that's cool about that is you can bend it a half step. And that's the blues note. You can bend it a whole step. So it's a little more forgiving. But a couple tips right away. When you're bending, if you can use the power of all 3 fingers, you have more control over the bend. Students, when they're first learning, they'll bend with 1 finger, and you don't have nearly as much control over the note that you're changing the pitch of. So if I'm going for that 5th fret G string, I want to put my middle finger behind it and at least be able to bend with both fingers together. So it's now the strength of 2 fingers. Sometimes you can have the 3rd finger there. Sometimes you're not going to have that index finger because you're going to be moving it to another note, like. So just something to point out there. Now, another thing is to practice, you want to play the note that you're bending up to, and then that'll help you get your, practice in and the muscle memory needed to start getting used to the proper spot for bending. So if I want to bend up a whole step here, now that note's also right here. You do it unison. And you can hear the warbling stop when it's bent to the same note, the unison note. Now, it's also a little more forgiving when at the top of the bend, you can add vibrato. Let's do it. Let's just stay in this scale right now. Let's go B string. Now, this is the most sensitive bend, is when you're bending up to the root. It's not as forgiving as that G string, that 5th bend. So we can hear the pitch we want to get to. and that's playing the 8th fret B string. It's a G note. And then bend the 6th fret up to that. Then I can do the same thing on the high E, play that 8th fret high E, so ultimately that's the thing you want to do when you're practicing your bends. Obviously, if you have like a jam track, you just want to jam, have fun, bend the strings, overbend them, underbend them, and your ear will start to hear, that like sweet spot. Another one that's not as bent would be bending that 3rd fret G. Another one would be bending, and once again, we're just in G right now, G minor pentatonic, but if I bent that 7th fret G, a whole step and a half step, which is called a minor 3rd, you're going to really need, hopefully, 2 to 3 fingers to bend it that far. And what's cool about that one is you have this little chromatic part of the blues scale, which would be 7, 6, 5. You can also do a thing where you're in the position up and hit the root with your index finger on that 5th fret D string. Now, you need more strength and accuracy when you're in the lower register of the guitar. Now, another thing you can do is everything we just did, but an octave up, all the way up here, it's the same scale. It's easier to bend up here. So all I'm doing is the exact same thing, but it would be the 17th fret G string instead of the 5th fret. Or all the same stuff. I overbent that time. And notice my fingers are locked together. One more quick thing, in G, the 8th fret high E is an octave up from that first one I showed you, 5th fret G. That's another of the most classic bends because the half step is the blues note. Full step is great too. And then also, as you bend, you can let your 3rd finger grab that B string. For that growling sound. You gotta just, it's hard to articulate how the proper technique to do that other than, let's see. Instead of using the very tip of my finger, I'm just letting it be a little more back on the pad so the tip can then grab the B string. All right, I hope you guys dug that lesson. Also, real quick, don't forget to get that free course on the essential licks with the tablature and the tabs, everything you would need to build that vocabulary up for your soloing. And I appreciate that extra support, so check that out in the link below. Thanks for supporting Marty Music. We'll see you guys again real soon.